Welcome to this Hornet Media special. I'm Chelsea Jensen and I'm here with Miss Lee. She was our first African American teacher on the Bryant District. So that is so exciting. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to get to ask you some questions. And so, what made you want to be a teacher?
Well, to be honest, I am a very family-oriented person. And because of that, I knew that teaching would correspond or coordinate my opportunity to become a family, to grow into a family, get married, have children. And so besides loving children, and I'd already worked in a location where I was working around children with special needs, and that just kind of directed me towards education.
So, was your first job, it wasn't in the school district in Bryant?
My first job was not, as a teacher, was not in the school district. I taught at Rivendell, and it was a private setting for children with some special problems going on. So I taught there for 6 years, and I taught one other year in a state facility. So I didn't come to Bryant until 91. I started with my son. He started kindergarten, and I started public schools in Bryant, moved from private.
And how do you think you have impacted our district?
I'd like to think that when I think way back, I want to think that I opened the eyes of some people who may have had a totally different perspective because, it was, by and large, a snow white district. And people tend to form their opinions about people who look different. And the fact that I had the opportunity to be here and to be a first accounting for people to make that judgment for themselves, I think I probably tore down some misconceived notions, perhaps, about me as an African American teacher.
Was that move to Bryant, were you nervous?
Not really, but I was aware of the fact that I was, as far as I knew, the only African American in the district. And at that time, even, I felt like I was probably the first African American, but nobody said that to me. It was some years before I heard that I was definitely the first African American. But I wasn't nervous, but it did make me uncomfortable at times. Yes.
What would you say, how do you think you impacted your students specifically?
I think I probably help students to judge for themselves, to look at the character of a person and to know the person individually rather than going on things they've heard, stereotypes. So as we spent time together throughout the course of the year and grew together, if you will, I feel like I probably changed some of those notions.
And what would you say was your journey getting to the position you're in now?
Well, right now, of course, I'm retired. The journey throughout my teaching career was long. I taught 32 years. But towards the end of my career, I would say that things began to kind of open up. I arrived at a better comfort zone. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily, I don't think, nervous, but I was made to feel uncomfortable at times. And if you'll allow me, I would define it as if you're walking into a place with a large number of people and you look different in several ways, okay? Your culture's different, you look different. Sometimes you feel like you have a neon sign on your back. And everybody sees that neon sign and everyone knows you, but they don't necessarily know you for the reasons you want them to know you. they only see you on the outside. So
How would you say you got through people viewing you differently?
I'm a very personable. I love people. I love to chat. I love to talk, and I think different people got to know me. But again, this is a large district, so the people close to me, I feel like they, learned who I was or who I am as a person. But that doesn't necessarily change everyone's opinion. Some people stick to their guns on whatever their first notions are about you, regardless to the person.
Who would you say inspired you?
Inspired me to
Just be the first to make a difference, make an impact.
I would have to say it was my oldest sister. I have a sister, Annie, and she had children actually already that had went through the district. And she was the one that encouraged me. I was going to apply. I'd gotten out of school, and she encouraged me, yes. She said, because basically she was saying there needs to be some change there. There's no one in the district that looks like you. And she encouraged me to go there and apply, and I did and got the job.
And what's your biggest advice for students, someone who maybe feels different, or just any advice you want to give?
Know who you are. Stay focused on your goals, regardless to what people may say or do. Be true to you, and take confidence in that. And in the end, if you stay the task, it pays off.
And one final question, what does Black history mean to you?
Black history to me is very important. As a Black person, if you know anything about Black history, our history was lost through the course of slavery, not necessarily knowing who our surnames, what our true names are. And it's just very important to me, and it's very curious to me, because there's still so many questions that I have that are unanswered about who I am as far as my own personal history. And so when we focus on Black history, it validates you as a person, whereas we as a people were invalidated for so many years. And it's just important to me to focus on the African American people and the contributions that we've made in this country. I think should never be overlooked.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. I loved getting to talk to you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to this Hornet Media special. I'm Chelsea Jensen, and this is Miss Lee.